Familiar, you're familiar. So if you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar.
Hello students, so welcome back to my video. So in this video let us discuss the concept frames of reference. Okay, so let us consider this is the first part for you. So with the introduction, so let us discuss what is the concept called frames of reference. Okay, so now as you know in the introduction part, first of all let me say what is the Newtonian mechanics. It is also called classical mechanics or Newtonian mechanics. So what are the things we already discussed about the motion of bodies, okay, how we are calculated the velocity, acceleration, etc. according to Newton's laws. Okay, we have Newton's first law, second law and third law already we have discussed in the previous semester, right? So based on that, what are the things we have to consider and how we have to change that according to the new concept called frames of reference, or according to special theory of relativity we can say, right? So in the Newtonian mechanics, so if you consider some quantities such as mass, space and time, you know, so these are the parameters considered as absolute quantities. That means they are not actually, they are considered as invariant. Okay, invariant, they are always constant. What do you mean by that? They are not varying or constant. So the parameters are mass. Let us say if you consider the mass of a body, it always constant, it never changes. Okay, that is called invariant quantity or absolute quantity. Similarly, space and time is always constant. Okay, so that is what actually we considered as the postulates, or we can say the basic concepts we are considered in the Newtonian mechanics. And whatever the measurements we take under the Newtonian mechanics, so that measurements would not applicable for the bodies moving with the high speeds. So further we can say that, so in Newtonian mechanics we are calculating some parameters as I said, or some measurements. So if the body is at rest, so we can discuss what are the forces acting on the body. If the body is in motion, okay, why the body is moving, with what velocity is moving. So we can calculate and keep some values as constant. Okay, but if the bodies are moving with very high speed, okay, then whatever the measurements we take for a moving body, so that particularly moving with very high speed are not applicable or not exact, we can say not exact. So according to new theory, that is called special theory of relativity. Okay, so such corrections are required in Newtonian mechanics. So that corrections are done by Einstein in 1905 in his special theory of relativity. Okay, so according to the special theory of relativity, so the mechanical concepts, what are the mechanical concepts we have discussed in the Newtonian mechanics, okay, are modified, slightly modified, and it discards the absolute motion. So in Newtonian mechanics we say there is a absolute motion. Okay, the parameters are absolute always, but here so it discards the absolute motion is not possible in this case. Okay, that is why, so we can say, so this the special theory of relativity deals with the relative motion. So instead of considering absolute motion, you have to consider the relative motion between the objects and the observers. Okay, it depends upon from where it is measured. Okay, with respect to that observer, okay, we have to calculate the measurements. It may be a velocity or acceleration, mass, whatever it is. Okay, so then in that way we can generalize that there is a measurements between the considered as the relative motion as the between the objects and observers. Okay, so that is the concept we have to continue in this chapter. Clear? Okay, now look at some basic concepts. So they are event, observer and frame of reference. Okay, so we need to understand these basic concepts to understand the special theory of relativity. Okay, so first of all, what is an event? A very simple concept it is. So we can define the event as a physical concept. Event is a physical concept, and that is considered as something that happens at a particular point in space and at a particular instant of time, isn't it? So as you know, very simple examples you can give here. So whereas how the things are happening in the space and what type of event can be considered as a physical concept here. Okay, see, for example, lightning in the sky. it happens once, isn't it? It happens once, let us say at a particular time it happens. Okay, you can measure the time also, at what time it is happened, right? So lighting in the sky is a event. Similarly, collision between the two particles, suppose if the two particles are moving together and collide each other, it happens at a instant, isn't it? At a particular instant it happens, so that is called actually an event. And similarly, fall of fruits from the tree. Okay, so let's say just you consider a fall of fruit from the tree, it happens at what particular time, so it is an instant of time where it is happened, so that is the thing called event here. Again, ticking of a clock. Ticking of a clock means it is continuously moving, tick 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 like that. So they are actually ticking of clock represents a series of events. It is not one event, it is continuously happening for every second, let us say. So then it is considered as a series of events. So the events are always happening in the space, anywhere it may be, at a particular instant of time. Clear? So that is one concept you have to understand here, event. Okay, so we need to measure that event. So who is going to measure that event? So what is that measurable person is called in general? So that measurable person, or it may be a machine, whatever it is, we call that as in general as observer. Okay, so observer, you can say an observer is a person or an instrument, or sometimes we use the computers for measurements also, right, or robots, etc. So an observer is a person or instrument or a computer which make measurements and make a record of it also. Okay, record of the measured event happened in anywhere in the space, at what instant it is happened. Okay, what is happened and at what instant it is happened. So like that there will be some record, so done by an observer in general. Okay, and next let us continue. What do you mean by frame of reference then? Clear? Okay, now let us see what is frame of reference. Okay, so as you know, in order to study the motion of a particle in space, so one has to specify its position as a function of time, because so as I told, in Newtonian mechanics, so we are not considering the things as with respect to a particular frame of reference or with respect to any fixed observer, etc. But here, so we have to consider a fixed observer. Okay, with respect to that observer, how the things are happening. Things are happening in the sense the motion or the events are happening in the space, and that is also with respect to time, because at any particular instant you have to say. That means you have to consider anything with respect to time as a function of time. That's why you have to consider, in order to study the motion of a particle in space, one has to specify its position as a function of time. So to specify the position, what we need? We need the minimum 3 coordinates in the space, right? X, Y, Z, right? If you are measuring that position with respect to time, then 4 coordinates are required. So we need the measurement along x-axis, we need to measure the position with respect to x, y and z as x, y, z, and with respect to time is t. So like that we have totally 4 coordinates. Okay, then we can say the position is measured with respect to the function of time also. Okay, so let us consider a simple example here. So we can absolutely consider the 3 frames of 3 axes in the frame of reference as x, y, z in arbitrarily. Okay, so that we can consider observer is at the origin. Okay, O is observer, let us say. So this is one way of considering the coordinate system, x, y and z in the 3-dimensional system, or in the space we can say. Or we can consider arbitrarily, let us say exactly opposite corner, O dash is the observer for you, for your reference, right? So with respect to that observer O dash, what are the 3 coordinates again? So they must be again mutually perpendicular to each other, right? So x dash, y dash and z dash are the 3 mutually perpendicular coordinates with respect to the observer O dash. So now we can give the measurements of the position with respect to the observer O and as well as O dash. Okay. Okay, now let us consider the 2 examples here. See, one example is, let us consider an object at rest in the space. Object is at rest in the space. How do you measure that object at rest in the space with respect to this observer O? Okay, we cannot just give where it is. So without the reference, it is not possible to give the exact location or like exact position measurement. Okay, first what you have to choose is a coordinate system with the origin as an observer, right? So for that, this example, object at rest. So I will give an example. Let us say, so if you have a room like this, okay. So in that room we have a bulb. It is fixed to the ceilings, okay, in a particular position. Is it moving? No, it is moving. It is not moving. So how do you measure the position of that bulb? Okay. So we have to consider a corner as origin, and we have the three coordinate system like x, y, and z. Then we can locate the position of the object, that is actually bulb here, let us say in this example. So along x-axis we need to move certain distance, and then along y-axis we have to move certain distance, and then along z-axis we need to move certain distance to get the location of the bulb in the room. So that is the example of object at rest, so that we can specify that position as in terms of the coordinates called x, y, and z. Okay, using these three coordinates we can locate the fixed position, fixed object in a space. Okay, so now is it possible to consider only x, y, z coordinates to locate a moving object? Now say in the room there is something is moving in the object, so that is called object in motion. So only the coordinates x, y, z is not enough. We have to consider the time parameter also with respect to what time, at what instant, where the object is present. Okay, then we will come across the coordinates called x, y, z, and time t also. So like that, four coordinates we have to consider, right? Okay, so for example, let us say in the room a mosquito is moving. Okay, you can imagine how the mosquito is moving. It is not staying at a particular position, it is continuously moving, right? So how do you locate that moving mosquito in the room? Again with respect to the same coordinate system x, y, z. So of course we can measure, okay, at what distance it is along x-axis, at what distance along y-axis, at what distance along z-axis, when it is at a particular point. Okay, but at that particular point it is available at a particular instant of time, isn't it? So you have to specify the time also, so we need to mention the time here. Okay, so like that, x, y, z and time t is required to locate or to find the position of any moving object, right, in the space. So like that we have the coordinate system x, y, z and x, y, z and time t. Now whatever the reference we are considering here with respect to that particular coordinate system or particular origin of a system is called actually in general frame of reference. Clear? So now how do you define the frame of reference? You see, it is a system of coordinates in space, okay, which defines the position of a particle, is called a frame of reference. Clear? Which defines the position of a particle. So whether that position of a particle, so maybe a constant, okay, stationary or moving, okay, we are able to specify the position in general. So that is actually the reference frame. Okay, now what are the two types of reference? So we have types of frames of reference as inertial frame of reference and non-inertial frame of reference. So note down these types of frames of reference, then we will discuss them in detail now. Clear? Okay, now let us see what are the main points to be noted under inertial frame of reference. So the things are considered actually unaccelerated. So that means, so the frame of reference is said to be unaccelerated frames. How it is possible? Look at some points here to understand how the inertial frame of reference works here. Okay, so the main points is you have to say the frame of reference, whatever the frame of reference you are considering for any measurements, you know, where the body is under motion or where the body is at rest, whatever it is, okay, we are considering with respect to a particular observer, you know, that particular observer itself acts as a frame of reference, right? So a frame of reference in which the bodies obey Newton's laws of motion, okay, as usual. So you can consider Newton's laws of motion for measurements, right? So that particular frame of reference where they obey, the measured quantities are obeying the Newton's laws of motion is called an inertial frame of reference. Clear? And then in this particular frame of reference, a body is at rest or it moves with a constant velocity, because you are considering unaccelerated frame it is. The body should move with a constant velocity for unacceleration. So you have to consider if it is moving, okay, then you have to consider the body is moving with a constant velocity and is not subjected to a force. So suppose if you apply a force, what happens? The body starts accelerated, isn't it? So you have to consider the motion of the bodies with constant velocities. That means no force is acting on the body. If no force acting on the body, then what you have to consider? The body may be at rest or may be in motion. According to Newton's law, okay, if the body is at rest, it has to continue to be at rest only. If the body is motion, it has to move continuously, as long as there is no external force acts on it, right? That is why you have to consider in this frame of reference, Newton's laws must be obeyed. Newton's laws must be obeyed here. Okay, so whatever the physical measurements you do with the bodies, all physical quantities measured may be different for different observers. They may be different for different observers, right? But the relationship between them it is always constant. So according to Newton's law, so we have certain relation between whether it is a force, mass, acceleration, velocity, etc. So that kind of physical laws, okay, so they must be constant for any measurements done by any observer. Okay, so you have to consider the relationship between them is always constant, even though it is measured by different observers. Okay, so finally we have to conclude that all laws of physics will be same for all observers here. Okay, so these are the points to be noted in inertial frame of reference. So what kind of inertial example you can give then for inertial frame of reference, where the bodies are, if they are at rest, continuing to be at rest, or moving, continuously moving without acting external force, let us say. So we can give the best example as the frame of reference in the intergalactic. Okay, the frame of reference with respect to some frame of reference in intergalactic. So where the motion of all planets are moving, all celestial bodies are moving. Okay, that kind of reference we have to consider as the inertial frame of reference only. Clear? Now let us see the next one, that is non-inertial frame of reference. Please note down these points, then I will move to the second one. Okay, now look at the second one, non-inertial frame of reference. So what are the points to be considered? How this frame of reference is different from inertial frame of reference? That is the question, right? See, we are considering a frame of reference in which Newton's laws of motion are not valid. Whereas in case of inertial frame of reference, Newton's laws of motion are considered as valid. Now it is not valid. Okay, then such a frame of reference is considered as non-inertial frame of reference. Okay, now the second point to be noted here is, in this frame a body is not acted upon by any external force. Of course, even inertial frame of reference also, if the body is not acted by external force, it is at rest or constantly moving. Okay, without change of acceleration, constant velocity, let us say. But here, if the body is not acted upon by an external force, even then, okay, but accelerated, it is still accelerated. Even without the external force, external agency, the body may be accelerated. That is why it is not obeying the Newton's laws of motion, right? It is against to Newton's laws of motion. So that is the point to be considered in the non-inertial frame of reference. Then all accelerated frames. So as per these conditions, we can say all accelerated frames are non-inertial frames only, right? So we can use the example in general as a frame having uniform linear acceleration. So if the body is moving in the linear motion, in the straight line path, let us say, if it is moving uniformly in the linear acceleration, or if we consider the body is moving in a circular path. So what is that? So a frame which is uniformly rotating, okay, uniformly rotating also, linear or uniformly rotating. So then that kind of moving frame of references can be considered as, but the thing is either it must be linearly accelerated or uniformly rotating. Then only such moving frames can be considered as non-inertial frames of reference. Clear? Okay, please note down these points. Okay, I will give again what is the final importance to consider these frames of references. Okay. Okay, as I told, there are two types of frames of reference, that is inertial and non-inertial frames. So particularly we have very important things to be considered in special theory of relativity. The study goes with the inertial frames. So what is the importance to study the things in inertial frames? So look at the points here. Okay, see, a frame of reference fixed on the earth. So you consider anything which is fixed on the earth. Okay, frame of reference is nothing but what? an observer who is going to take the measurements, right? So that observer itself is considered as a frame of reference. Suppose if that observer, okay, considered as a frame of reference is fixed on the earth, okay, that can be regarded as an inertial frame. Okay, you can have any fixed object or fixed observer is not moving. Let us say observer is always fixed on the earth surface. Okay, then that kind of observer can be considered as an inertial frame who is going to take the measurements of any event. Okay, event in the sense it may be anything which is under motion or it may be at rest. Okay, as I told already what is the event. Now suppose if I consider any other reference frame fixed on a vehicle, let us say a vehicle is considered now which is moving with a uniform velocity. Consider a vehicle moving with a uniform velocity. So with respect to earth, so will be nearly inertial frame again. So why it is nearly inertial frame? Because so first of all the vehicle is supposed to be considered as uniform, moving with uniform velocity. That means it is not accelerated. Okay, you have to consider uniform moving vehicle, and the observer is sitting on the vehicle and taking the measurements. So that kind of observer can be considered as, of course, inertial frame, but not exactly like a fixed observer as inertial frame. So we can say that is nearly inertial frame only, nearly inertial frame. That observer acts as nearly inertial frame because the vehicle is moving, of course, uniform with uniform velocity. Okay, suppose if the vehicle is accelerated, observer is sitting on the vehicle which is accelerated, then that is not possible to consider as inertial frame. Okay, look at the next point here. A reference frame fixed to a rotating merry-go-round also. Example is now we are considering a observer is moving. Okay, that means merry-go-round. You know what is merry-go-round here. Okay, so observer is moving in the circular path. Or accelerated vehicle. You have to consider the vehicle is now accelerated vehicle is not at all an inertial frame. We cannot consider such a observer as a inertial frame, so which comes under non-inertial frame of reference. Clear? Okay, so finally we can conclude that here the special theory of relativity deals with always the study of any events by observers in inertial frame of reference. That is more important here. Okay, so normally let us say earth, with respect to earth, of course, when as per the first example, any fixed observer on the earth is considered as inertial frame of reference, correct? But strictly speaking, even earth itself is also not fixed because earth is revolving around the sun and rotating about its own axis. So many motions are there with the earth, isn't it? But with respect to other objects on the surface of the earth itself, so any other fixed observer can be considered as a fixed frame of reference. Okay, so it is a relative motion. Is there any relative motion between the two objects which are at rest on the earth? No. Okay, so if one is at rest, one is moving, then we can consider one object is moving with respect to another observer which is fixed on the earth. Okay, then we can say that fixed observer is acting as a inertial frame with respect to a moving observer. Similarly, if the object is moving, okay, then object is of course moving with what velocity? With uniform velocity. If it is with uniform velocity, of course that can be considered as inertial frame, like that it is. Okay, so strictly speaking, anything which is fixed on the earth itself is also non-inertial frame, but by ignoring such motion with respect to, let us say, a sun or with respect to its own rotation and all, so we can say the earth itself acts as a inertial frame of reference for all measurements. Clear? So that is the thing you have to consider in the special theory of relativity. Okay, so now in the next video let us discuss how the calculations are done for the measurement of position, velocity, etc. with respect to time also, right? Okay, so thank you for watching this video. So I will see you in the next video then.